Alright guys, welcome back to Tardis Talk, where today we're talking Doctor number 13, as the BBC have now revealed who will play the 13th incarnation of the Doctor, and it's a shocking one as the 13th Doctor will be played by none other than Broadchurch star Jodie Whittaker, meaning for the first time in the show's 50 plus years, we'll finally see a female incarnation of the Doctor. Elle, what do you make of this momentous news?
I actually think I've calmed down a hell of a lot, but I still think it's a really brilliant move. I think it's kind of a move that I didn't think I'd ever see. I think we'd almost get hints and things. Like the series alone, I think there's been probably at least 10 references to the Doctor being a woman, but the fact that we're finally getting it and Stephen Moffat didn't have a clue, I think it's just amazing. And I think now is the right time. There's a lot going on in the world, a lot of females taking the roles, like Wonder Woman, we've got Rey from Star Wars and things like that. And even if you look at comics where we've had a female Thor and things, females are literally taking over every type of universe. So I think now is the right time, like you say, especially with a lot going on in the world. And I think it's time for a woman to make a stamp on Doctor Who.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work out, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to be one of these people that actually waits to see how things pan out before I form an opinion on it. And not like so many of the opinions that I've read online. Like, I seen the trailer reveal on YouTube and I went through the comments and those people are like, oh my God, worst decision ever. Doctor Who's ruined. Just cancel the show. It's over. It's done. You've lost a viewer. And it's like, bloody hell. Like, talk about an overreaction. There's so many people just jumped straight into it. The Doctor can't be female. Like, how does that even work? And yet, obviously, we're seeing all this setup. Missy's explained the entire thing, that the Doctor can regenerate into a woman. And yet still, people haven't quite got grips with that. It's like, now, like you said, is the perfect time. I don't see why not. They've put down loads of hints. I think now, if they're ever going to do it, now's got to be the time.
Totally. And I think the fact that people forget that the Doctor's not human, he's basically a chameleon and he can be anything he wants. He doesn't have to be human. He could be some green-headed alien or anything like that. He doesn't have to be human. And I think people have forgotten that because we've had males for so long. And it's kind of like that thing. It's probably like a road I shouldn't go down, but I kind of feel that we'd probably get this same reaction if it was a black man cast as the Doctor. I think we're always going to have these minority people who probably aren't really that big a Doctor Who fan who put the two penneth in it and don't think about how the program's evolved. Doctor Who is like at the forefront of change itself. Like we've had gay characters and things like that, things where they've always pushed it even at times when it's not necessarily been fully accepted in the world. Doctor Who's always been at the forefront of doing things like that, and I think what people need to realise, it's not so much about casting a female as the Doctor. It's going to be more based on the writing. And if we've got a brand new writer who writes brilliantly, it's not going to matter if she's male or female. And if we've got a crap writer, then, do you know what I mean? It's nothing to do with the gender. And I think this season's probably the best example that Peter Capaldi's a male. And this series hasn't been that brilliant. He's had a few great moments, but his gender brought nothing to this series as a whole, and I dare say that because of the way we've had females in Doctor Who for the last few years, people like Clara and Bill, where they've been so much at the forefront, it's not going to be that different. We're just going to have a female being the Doctor instead of a companion.
Well, that's the thing. I think the last few years we have had so much of a strong female companion. Like the cast list has just featured like them continuously. We had Kate Stewart, Clara, Bill this season, Missy. There's so many like powerful women that's been in it throughout the series, throughout the whole history of it. But why not bring a female in as the actual Doctor? I don't see the difference. We've basically had Clara acting as though she was a Doctor during her run in the series, and I absolutely loved that. I would have loved a Doctor in the style of Clara. So, well, we obviously don't know how Jodie Whittaker is going to take on the role, how she's going to act. Is she going to be a funny Doctor, serious Doctor? But judging from what I've seen of her, and I haven't seen a lot, I've seen probably half the first season of Broadchurch. I think that's what I've seen her in the most. She was in Attack the Block, so we've seen her in that. And that's like two different sides of the roles that she can play. Going back and watching sort of her reels and things, she's done Centurions 2, she was in that. And the type of character that she played in that was completely different.
Yeah.
It just shows that she's got a wide range of different emotions. But I think what I'm really looking forward to is the kind of the serious stuff. because you've watched Broadchurch as well, and I think you can tell from the way that she acts in that, she's such an amazing actress. And I think, thinking ahead of what we could see, some of the scenes where she puts across, a Doctor iconic speech, I think that's going to come across so well. And because of the fact that we're getting a female Doctor, it seems completely different. She's going to handle it in a different way, I would imagine. And that's exactly what I want to see. Something new, something fresh, something completely different, and not something that we've kind of seen before, where we've talked this season about things kind of being rehashed, and old concepts coming back in with a slightly different spin on it, but it hasn't really changed it too much. This is going to completely change things.
Totally. I think that's what I said to you on like the last episode we did, when I was talking about like it felt like this is like the right time to start a new era. You've got the current Doctor making the very first Doctor, and we've had things like where we've seen the companions in flashbacks and things. And I think this is probably the perfect time to start this new era. Start with a new Doctor who's a female, something they've never done before, and start with new companions and things. I would have liked Bill to come back, but I think because the Doctor's a female, I think they'd probably push Bill's sexuality more than it needs to be. I think if they're going to do it with a female in a first series, it needs to be not about her being a woman, not about her sexuality. If the Doctor's going to suddenly start liking men, it needs to be, I think I'd prefer something like how we had Matt Smith with Amy and Rory. I think that's the sort of dynamic I'd really like to start with, and then maybe down the line explore other things about her romantic relationships, if they have to go with that, because I think I prefer when they don't, but if they do, I'd rather that at a later date, and just focus on what a good actress she is, because like you say, she's so versatile. She can go from something really gut-wrenching like the loss of a child in Broadchurch to playing like a dippy receptionist in St. Trinian's and being the person she was in Attack the Block. She's got this range, and I don't think we've seen enough of that versatility from Peter Capaldi. I think he's relied too much on this serious, grumpy side, and I want a fun Doctor, kind of like how Matt Smith was, where one episode you can have him being really, really angry and putting in a great performance, and then being a bit like a child. That's something I really want back from Doctor Who. I think we need to go back to things that are a little light-hearted, yet we have major threats like the Silence, the Weeping Angels, and things like that, where there's going to be moments where we can laugh and cry, and then moments where we're going to be scared and hide behind the sofa, which is what Doctor Who is.
Yeah, exactly. I think, like you said, Capaldi was a really good Doctor, but the range, it wasn't quite there. We had sort of grumpy Doctor, and we had not so grumpy Doctor. It wasn't like, that light-hearted sort of Matt Smith comedy character. We didn't get that, where he done that, and he done the serious side as well. Same with David Tennant, and even Christopher Eccleston to an extent, where Capaldi, it all seemed to be, kind of grumpy and, not the most happy Doctor. So I think this time around, it's a completely different change, and it's the perfect time to do it. I think the person that they've cast, like we've said, it's got a great range, they can do absolutely anything, and I'm just looking forward to seeing that, something completely different, and a nice, happy, light feel to the series, not this, like, gloomy, dark, angry Doctor. I just look forward to the change. I can't wait for it to get through. Bring on the Christmas special, let's get through that, and then let's move on. But like you said, I think it is the best time to sort of start afresh, companion-wise. It would have been good to have Bill back, but because of what you said, the Doctor being female and the fact that we learned Bill was gay, I don't want them to kind of push that in this. I don't want the female Doctor to be about that. I would prefer it just to be, the Doctor and his companion go off on adventures. That's it. We don't need the romantic stuff. Could maybe revisit that like later on in the future, but I don't think that's what they need to do. For this first time we're getting a female Doctor. I think it's just treat it as though it's the Doctor. The gender is, it doesn't matter. So I'm just looking forward to that. I would like to see a brand new cast. Lots of new people. Don't bring back River. I don't know how you feel about that.
Oh, no.
You're a big fan of River. But I would say don't bring it back, because I think that is a bit weird to then explain it. I would rather leave it off with Capaldi. Maybe bring her back for the Christmas special while Capaldi's there. But as soon as the new Doctor comes in, I would say draw a line under River and maybe make that the end of her story.
See, I was on that wavelength even still, probably this morning, but then I came across Alex Kingston's reaction to the news and things, And someone in the comments of the video said that River's already stated that she's actually married a woman before. And I think I kind of wouldn't mind them revisiting that. Not necessarily this season, just have her maybe as a friend. And it to turn out that all along that was the woman she married. I think Alex Kingston's got this kind of like pansexual type of character where it's hard to like talk about without insulting someone, like, whereas Bill, you kind of know she's a lesbian and it's kind of in that place, whereas River Song fancies everyone and you kind of get the impression she'd kiss anyone and not necessarily sleep with everyone, but she could fall in love with anyone. And I think that wouldn't be as pushed upon as much as Bill would be. So I think there'd probably be good chemistry there with anyone. You could probably stick her with a plank of wood or something and River would have some sort of chemistry, so I wouldn't mind.
I think that'd be in a later time slot, though.
I do know where you're coming from. I think if they're going to end River's thing, end it at Christmas. I don't think they will, going from what we've seen recording-wise and things like that. But I will say that I actually really want Missy to come back now. I think I'd like to see Missy maybe taunt the Doctor a little because he's now a woman and he hasn't been a woman for a while. For all I don't want it to be a highlight of the first season of the Doctor being a woman. I think Missy'd maybe be a great cut if she's going to be good to kind of get the Doctor used to being a woman again. I don't know. I think I want to see more of Missy now that we have got a female Doctor.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, to be fair. We don't know what exactly happened to Missy. We only got the Master's words to go off, that she got the full shot and that she wouldn't be able to regenerate. So who knows? Maybe we'll see Missy back in the series and we'll go up against the female Doctor and see how they play off. I would like to see that. You mentioned the Doctor being female again, as well. Had a lot of sort of references last season that maybe he was female in the past. Did you actually think we would get to a point where they would just cast the next Doctor as being female? Because I think all the hints that we got, I thought if they were going to do it, what they would probably do is introduce a female character, like a kind of Missy, and then have it revealed later down the line that actually was the Doctor in an earlier incarnation, so that they kind of tested the waters and we learned, this female character was actually the Doctor, and then they could see the reaction to it, what people made of a female Doctor, and then go on to cast it. I thought they would really test the waters in that sense, rather than just bring in the next Doctor, suddenly he is female. I don't know if I would have preferred to see him in the past, a female Doctor introduced into it, or just jump straight to it. I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know which I would have preferred. It would have been a cool reveal, but I'm kind of glad that they've done it now, and it's not something that everyone's going to be talking about saying, ooh, will they go over there? Will the Doctor ever be female? I'm just glad they've answered that question, and we can now put that to rest.
See, I remember saying to you in the finale, like, there was something quite off with Missy, like, there was this whole good and bad thing, and she didn't seem to remember anything about the Master, and I said to you, like, I kind of got the vibe was maybe wishing the Doctor all along, and she was kind of fooling everyone, because there was something not quite there, even up to the thing with the Sonic Umbrella and things like that, and I did wonder, was she calling herself Missy because she didn't acknowledge herself as the Doctor because of the things she was doing, the things that she was capable of and things like that, and I think that would have been a good way to do it, but now I take a seat back and things that I do appreciate Missy for what she was, and the fact that if you remember all the backlash when it was announced that Missy was the Master, that's basically near enough all gone now. People respected Michelle Gomez for what she brought to the character, and even a lot of people like myself, I prefer Missy over the Master. I know, like, you don't agree, but she brings a totally new dynamic, and it's not about gender, it's about the character she brings to the show and the things that she does and the way she says things, and even just that batshit crazy look in her eyes, that's everything she's brought to the character and not something defined by her gender, and I think that's what people need to remember going to the new season.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say it's necessarily that I don't prefer Missy over the Master. I think the way that they've played these off as being two completely different characters, I kind of see them as two completely different characters, especially when they're on screen together and you've got them both there, and they do seem to be like two completely different entities. So I just love the both of them, to be fair. But yeah, I think the fact that we got Missy in, and like you said, it could have even been a point that they did reveal that Missy was the Doctor in an earlier incarnation. I think that would have been really cool, and I think that is a way that they could have actually done it, to introduce the fact that, the Doctor can regenerate into a female. But I'm looking forward to it. I just think there's so many ways that can actually go with this. I'm just really glad that they've gone ahead and they've done it and they haven't just held off again. So, you know, bring on the Christmas special, get Capaldi out of the way, and let's see how Jodie Whittaker gets on in this iconic role.
No, I totally agree. And I think once the whole thing dies down about the gender and people seeing her for what the actress she is, I think people are forgetting. Like you say, it's Doctor Who. You kind of start to think of them as totally different characters. I think a great explanation, even though it's nothing like it, is the whole thing with Orphan Black, where you've got the same actress playing different characters and none of them are really the same. They're all different. Yeah, essentially they're all the same person. So it just goes off the person's acting skills, and gender has nothing to do with who the Doctor is. It's a being much higher than gender and species and things like that. It's something that people shouldn't get too narked about, because if she's a crap actress, then it's going to be a crap Doctor. But you could easily say that about any actor who comes onto Doctor Who, male, female, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing to do with the gender. And I think, like you say, once that dies down, I think we're probably in for a great series. We're going to see new things and a totally new perspective. And I think it's about time. I think while I've enjoyed Moffat, I think it's time for change. I think his series have run its course now, and I just want to see something new and fresh and fun.
Yeah, new, fresh, fun. That's what I'm up for. Let's see that next season, and we'll all be happy. So it's something to look forward to. I can't wait. Guys, let us know what you think about it. Can you not wait? What do you make of having a female Doctor? What do you make of Jodie Whittaker? Will you think she is going to be a great Doctor? Will she be your new favourite? Let us know what you think about it in the comments, and make sure to follow us over on Twitter at Tardis_talk for more Doctor Who news, rumours and reaction. Until next time though, we hope you've enjoyed today's video, but have yourself an awesome day. I'll catch you later.
See you later.